Hey,
Yo, what
welcome back.
up? What
Welcome
up?
back.
Hey, we about to do it.
Yes. So this
Um,
is part two of Let Loose Dog Talk. I know
we're missing we're
last
missing our
episode
third
you
partner.
yeah. Gabriel couldn't make it. Hopefully he jumps in here in a couple of minutes. Um and I know last episode you cut off, so that's why we kind of ended the live, but we want to pick up where we left off and go from there.
My bad. I'm trying to. My bad. I'm trying to share the live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know how it goes, man. I mean, I guess I got to copy it. Well, let me just share that, mine. And get everybody in tune with us. You know what it is. But yeah, man, my computer cut out. I don't know why. Oh yeah, it wasn't charged up, and that's why I was bleeping and everything was slow pausing.
Okay, no, you're good. I know it's like a small little recap. We were talking about genetics and consistency of the dogs. Uh,
Yeah,
what part plays in having a tightly bred dog and a scatterbred dog.
yeah,
So, we could hit those topics, back and give examples of consistency and stuff.
yeah. I'm
That'll
with
be,
that.
yeah.
Like that's one thing with our lines. That's what I really love. That like years upon years and generations on generations, you're seeing traits come out like down the line, down the line, down the line. And with breeding dogs, like everybody picks a male for whatever reason. You pick a male, or
Yeah.
even pick a female. Like when you're picking a dog or breeding a dog, the first thing I really think whenever you're looking at a puppy, selecting a puppy, you want to select that pedigree. Like because you're looking for those types and those traits to build off of to build your own type and things you want.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. Do you believe having, let's say, a tightly bred dog will bring those genetics more to life, that consistency? Or would you consider, let's say, breeding let's say, a tightly bred dog, and then you have a nice female, but she's scatterbred? Do you believe that you'll get that consistency still with those pups, like in the whole litter?
I don't think you're going to get that consistency. You might get one or two, but you're risking the chance of getting what you're looking for overall. Because, if you're going to get one or two, there may be some, structural flaws in those puppies that just aren't really going to work out.
Yeah.
But with the more tightly bred male, tightly bred female, to get that consistency, to get, at least I'm going to say 6 out of 10, that you're going to get more from it than you would a scatterbred dog. That's just exactly the word. It's scattered. So you're going to get
Yeah.
a scattered litter with hoping to get what you want.
No, definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, the tighter the lines, the more consistency you'll produce. You lock in traits. If you want a certain look or you're looking for a certain head type, you lock in those traits. But like you say, you got to know your pedigrees too, because if your pedigrees are all over the place, then it's gonna be really hard to really lock in those traits that you're looking for.
And it's crazy that, like, that people jump in this without really understanding a pedigree. They're just looking at the dog. Like, oh, it's a nice dog. It's a pretty dog. But really knowing if that male really has pushed off traits
Yeah,
to breed to continue what he is. Most people don't look at that. They just see the dog that's right there and they don't go research, okay, let me look at this male and what he looks like in front of me. And let me go do like, with every science project, you're going to do, you have your consistence and you have your variables. And those variables, let me see it bred to 4 different females of 4 different types, 4 different pedigrees. Now let's see if those puppies join in and have those types, those traits. Then that'll allow me to select a male.
mm,
And
okay.
somebody in the oldie game right now, they had a male, RIP to this male, and big shout outs to Christina Torres. She had a male, that boy Capone. I mean, he was really nice to throw him sight and throw his traits. She has a female that basically is a Capone Jr. And I
Mm.
there with that female, bro, lock it down with those types and traits.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Do
because if
you?
a male what's that?
No, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up.
Because if the male reproduces a female, because you already know your female is going to give you more of your physical traits and your look and everything. You winning right there.
Okay. Do you feel that like, let's say I guess working your own lines and staying consistent with the dogs you have in your yard to produce a certain look or type is the best way to breed, or would you go out of your yard to find a stud that will complement your female, but
I do.
risking losing certain traits and stuff, knowing, let's say the dog is well bred, but are you using that outside stud to fix some of your traits that you're missing, or you need to be fixing?
So in that question, I mean that's a large, broad question right there. Because when you're doing like what you said, if I'm going to go to an outside stud, at some point you're going to have to. You're going to have to go to an outside stud because whenever things are so close, you have to open up the lines. So at the first in the beginning, I would build my dogs with a heavily line bred dog. I'll build those types, I'll build those traits. I'll build that pedigree to the type and what I need of that. Then once I'm done with that, now I'll come in and bring in some outside blood to add me a little bit of touch of something that I might be missing. Like maybe it be height, maybe it be whatever it may be. But I still think you still need to go to an outside male.
Okay, okay, no, I see that. My philosophy for that is, uh, I'm working on 3 lines in my yard. I guess once I establish those families, you know, I think I don't really have to go outside my yard, because now I could kind of play with those 3 families, and but like I said, I have to first establish those lines completely,
Well,
so I could do that.
so so like let's say okay for you right now, okay, you have three outsides that you're building, right?
Correct.
So let me just go put out. You have your peso line,
Hmm.
you have your diesel line,
Correct.
and what's your third?
COH prime.
Oh yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to put all that out there. I got
No, you're
you.
good. You're good.
So you have all those three. You're building that. Most
Correct.
people don't see that, and that's just kind of like the same thing I'm doing with mine. We're building three different types, four different types, or whatever, so that way we can start. We don't have to go outside of our yard.
I
If
have a
you're
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
if you're building those three and you're building like a consistency for that, you're not going to go out outside of your yard yet. But because you can mix, match, cross, and do things with those lines, most breeders aren't doing that. They're literally taking every dog to make like build their program to where
Yeah.
they can, i.e., get built like pinned into a corner.
Okay. We have a question on IG from Perfect Match Bulldogs. He's like, I've seen breeders breed mother, son, father, daughter, litter mates. What's our intake on that?
Do it.
Hey, exactly.
Do it.
Yep.
Because for one, the biggest way to bring in, because what do we call it? Like they call it line breeding, but if you're gonna do like mother, a daughter to granddaughter to grandson, that's a back breed. It's not a line
Hmm.
breeding. I would do it. I like to do it because you're going to be locking in more traits. You're going to be line breeding. I most of nowadays people are always saying, "Oh, don't do that. That's inbred. That's incest." It's not. It's how we have the dogs and what we have right here, right now. Because whenever the number one thing is like what most people don't realize when you get asked this question, how is a dog bred? What they're being truly asked is how many generations of inbred is that dog? Because you need 4 generations of inbreeding to even create a breed. So I definitely always 100% will do a mother to son, father to daughter, granddaughter to grandfather, grandfather to grandmother to grandson. I definitely do it because if I'm locking in traits, and especially if the dogs are genetically health tested, you have the structure, or you need to fix something from one that has more than the other, I would definitely bring that back in because you're going to pull it out of the pedigree of what you're looking for.
I'm with you. I know for that question, there is steps of how to do it, depending, what you're looking for. Not everybody breeds the same. Like, my method, I will, first start off, get your foundation, male, female,
Hmm.
breed that, get the offsprings from that, and then I'll do a back crossing, whether it's to the dad or the mom from that offspring,
Yeah, I agree with you.
and
But
and then see what they produce. If you like what comes out of that, if you're still missing something, let's say from on the sire side, now breed it back to the sire until you lock
like,
in those traits that you're looking for. Then I would do a inbreeding, and the closest inbreeding you could do is brother to sister. Then after that,
definitely.
I'll start line breeding.
Yeah, line breeding, or even throw you in a nice little outcross. Like, let's say, for example, like with the build of what we're just talking about, where you're doing, let's say you got A and B, you got side A, side B, where you're doing all the line breedings and things like that, and you do two inbreedings from two separate lines, and take those two inbreeds, which become a 100% outcross. But
Yeah,
also top and bottom, you got tight on the top, tight on the bottom. You'll get those 50-50 splits of what you're looking for. There's so many different ways of doing it while doing it and not doing it, but you still, my personal opinion, you want to do it.
yeah. And then the only, I guess you could say, downfall. Well, not really a downfall. It's just when you inbreed and stuff, you're really gonna know what you have in your lines. You're gonna have the good stuff, but you're definitely gonna have some bad stuff in there. And I always say it, fuck it, let it be. Let it be. Let the bad stuff come out, because then the key to this is selecting. You move away from the bad and start moving forward with the good stuff that came out of it.
Because right with that word right there, like we call it selecting. So we are selectively breeding. And then after selectively breeding, we're selectively picking. You got to
Correct.
be really, really selective with what you're doing in every aspect of this breed and breeding. You have to be, because let's say where people are like, oh, I get a chance of pulling this out and this may happen. What was going to come out either way it went? But doing the heavy tight line and inbreeding, you're going to pull it out faster, so you know what to eliminate, what pup to eliminate, and what
Exactly.
to get rid of, so that you can keep going further into your health.
And
Then your health, your temperament structure, what it would need be.
exactly. And the advantage, I guess, that we have in the dog world is that we could do health testing. So that's a tool you could use to kind of eliminate some of these diseases that our breed, depending, let's say like the American Bulldog, they have like the ick, HUU, and CL. You
Yeah.
test for that and you eliminate that from your program. So once you test these dogs, man, you don't really have to worry about inbreeding, heavily, because you're clear on that end. And but the key to it is selecting. Selecting
You,
is the main focus on that once.
my thing is, like, even with where we say we're health testing and this, that, and the third, and like where you said we're eliminating, yeah, we're eliminating, but there's still a probability that you're still going to get it. Like, I don't believe just because we breed 100% clear dogs that we're not going to get one. I still believe you're still going to get some.
Meaning what, like a genetic defect, or like a
Yeah,
more
like
of a.
anything, temperament, health, it doesn't matter. I still think
No, no,
you're
for, yeah, yeah, of course, for temperament and that, but I'm talking about, let's say, like a ick.
like HUU ick. I still
Yeah.
think you'll still pull it up. I still think you will, because you can't 100% eliminate. Because you think about the gene pool,
No, 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 but that's
it's
what I'm saying. You test it first. That's why you have like
yeah.
embark and all this. So if your dog's clear, how is it that it's gonna come out down the road.
Okay, let's do human genetic, right?
Okay.
Let's say way, 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 way down the line, you got great great grandmother that has red hair, and she's like 10 gens back. You take blonde and blonde or black and black hair, you somehow end up with a red haired kid. The genetic gene pool is so big that I still, no matter what anybody says or whatever, you think you can still pull it out. And it's going to come out somehow, some way. I don't think it's 100% the be all end all. I don't. Like, no matter what people like, oh, I've been doing this for years, years and years. So at the same time, we know not everybody's 100% honest.
That is true. Oh
I
yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
think, yeah, they were like, oh no, you might have tested it, but they might have soft cold, hard cold. But yet, I still think it's still going to be a possibility that it's going to happen. So I can't tell me personally. I can never say that it's never going to 100% be 100% like, yo, your puppies are going to always be tested clear. Just because what's tested clear in front of me doesn't mean down the line I'm not going to get it. It doesn't mean you're not going to get it
Yeah,
because you
I'm
possibly can.
on the grade. I agree with you on that. Just like you could have health tested hips and elbows on all these dogs generation after, but it doesn't guarantee you that you might not get one of these dogs that might have hip dysplasia, you know. But at least you're doing your due diligence to try to
True.
produce, healthy dogs out there. It's not 100% guaranteed just because you're producing all your dogs and you're testing them that there's not going to be one that might come out with hip dysplasia. But at least you minimize, the risk of them producing, hip dysplasia and stuff like that.
Well, that's why I say it's not the be all end all. It's not like you're setting a platform for your breedings, but it doesn't mean you're not going to run into the risk, the problem, or we call it like a hiccup or headache or whatever. You're still possibly going to do it. You do it long enough, you're still going to run into it.
Yeah.
Doesn't always mean you're not going to get it. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. But do you feel that one as a breeder should, you know, health test and or do
For
it?
sure.
Okay, because I know back in the days it was old school. We didn't have all these tools that we have
Well, back
now.
in the day, it was can the dog do the job?
Yeah,
And that's where I fall in at. Can the dog do the job? Like that's health testing all the way for me. Hey, can you work? Cool. You can't? Gotta go.
that's
But
right.
but over the years, I've come around and been into this thing to where I've learned to realize like, there's more to it than just the work of the dog. Because yeah, I'm a working dog home, but yet I'm a showroom home, I'm a family home. I do everything. So I had to start putting things where, as we spoke in the earlier episode, of dogs that have given me temperamental problems.
Yeah,
So these little steps and things like that, as you're learning, and that's one thing, if you're not learning, you ain't growing.
that is true.
And I started learning like, yo, these hot, spicy dogs ain't really it. They're not. And
Yeah,
that's what I really started out with. And I had them, they were spicy, boy, like caliente, like hot.
and you know what? Some people might like them. Some people might
Maybe.
like them for certain things what they do. For certain work that they might be doing. And they like hot dogs like that.
I
But
mean,
yeah, in my point of view, I try to focus on temperament. We always try to give a good dog to families that is stable, that they got that off and on switch.
that's like the number one thing. Like you do want a balanced dog. And that's what I was saying. Like if I wasn't learning, I wasn't growing. And
Yeah,
I started learning a lot for balance over than a heavily prey driven dog. Because I couldn't really do much with it. I couldn't take it out in public.
no,
You
definitely.
can't show the dog. And then on top of like taking the risk of breeding it, what am I gonna make? More hot dogs. Not saying every puppy, but as I say, out of 10, I'm gonna
Yeah,
get 3 or 4. But I don't know that until the dog makes me. I can see some at a young age, but yet at a year, one might trigger and switch. Like, bomb, I'm one of them. So you gotta look at those temperaments. You gotta really see what you're really breeding to and what your target of market is. Yeah, you can have some dogs that are super, super hot and gamey or whatever you want to call it. and have a market for that. But overall, our whole market is really family because it's my family, your family, their family.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, definitely.
So we were talking about this thing of genetics
Yeah.
and pedigree and what we're doing. So what is it in this pedigree, which I know is for me, it's probably the same for you, that keeps you in this line, like genetic wise?
Um, you know what? I'll say it's the just the overall dog. Um, I love the look. I love the temperament, and just knowing that they could produce over and over those genetics and they express them. Whether you could breed them to different males or females, and they'll still produce that. And I know I have an example. I know you did a breeding, and there's a dog there. I think his name is Wolfman. And
A Wolfina.
let me see. Here it is.
So yeah, so those are two different dogs.
Okay,
So the one that I don't know what it's like on their screen, but the two that's at the top,
with
the
the
one that's
mustache.
on, yeah, the two at the top. Those are two different dogs.
Okay.
Those are two different dogs, and that's one thing. Like where you are, I love this genetic because the genetic basically takes over everything, but
Yeah.
yet it's still so consistent. So the older, bigger puppy, all white with the mustache on his right,
Yeah.
that dog was produced about what 10 years ago, 10, 15 years
Mm,
ago. And the dog that's on the right, the one with the mustache on the left side,
yeah.
that's what I took Philotes, which is the offspring of Monroe, your female, where I
Okay.
produced the oldie. And just an AB to an oldie, I'm still pulling out those genetics. And then the collage you have at the bottom, that's the female, the sister litter mate, belly sister to the one at the top right. That's
Okay.
Wolfina. And in the pedigree, I named them all after a dog in the pedigree. Monroe
Okay.
features her grandmother, Monroe. Wolfina heavily features her great grandmother, Wolfina. So this genetics is literally proven to keep going consistently years after years, and no matter what you breed it to. Well, I can't say no matter, but I bred it to an oldie. I made an
Yeah.
F1, and my F1s carry on the AB genetics of what Railroad American Bulldogs has brought over to us in the States.
Let me back you up right there, Ernest. Just for the audience that are watching, some of them are not, really dog persons like that. When you say F1, can you explain what's a F1?
Uh,
What is considered a F1 for the audience that might asking like, well, what is a F1? Is that a breed or what is it?
an, an F1 is a foundation. You're taking two dogs that create the breed to make your foundational line. Let's say you have which is generational. You take an F1 to an F1, you're going to make an F2. But if you take in this breeding case right here, I took an American Bulldog to an Old English Bulldog.
Okay.
That cross creates an F1. You can
Okay.
register that F1 through IOEBA. You can do it through. I don't know if ABKC is still doing them anymore, but you could. But IOEBA is where you start with them. IOEBA is the oldie representation of what we're doing. So that's how you get an F1. You can do an AB to an English, and that's the original foundation is AB English. I did AB oldie. I took a generational oldie to a generational American Bulldog. That's a
Okay.
foundation.
So that mustache that it's in there, it
Uh
it
huh.
produces it.
It
It
does.
it comes out, a couple of generations here and there. Um, I produced a dog named Venom. He has it.
I was
You
about
know,
to
you
get on
you
him.
you produce this girl here, Monroe. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I do believe these lines, kind of replicate
They,
themselves. They
I do
come
too.
out, yeah. So
And
and
then
then
even at the same time, like where you brought that up, like when we're talking about locking in genetics, let's talk about Venom. Do you got a picture of Venom?
you know what? Might I could pull that up, but here,
Oh,
let
I
me.
might have one for you.
Here's This is what I mean temperament. This is Monroe.
Yeah,
That's
that's Monroe Monroe.
yeah, but and that's my goddaughter there. Just playing her dolls and stuff, and you could see, man, she was always she had that on and off switch, always taking care of her, but that little girl was able to do anything to her, and she was okay with it, and I could trust her with my life. That's how good she was. She's
And
no
that
longer here, but this is what started everything. It was her.
and that's the thing is like, the same thing with Philotes. I love that dog. I absolutely 100% love Philotes. She is hands down a people person, like a people dog. And at the same time, she's a family dog. She's 100% just loves people. She can see you from the instant she sees you. Well, depends on your demeanor. But
Yeah,
she already knows, like, hey, you cool, I'm cool. And that's one thing I love about the genetics, like in this line, because if there's any kind of threat, problem, whatever, I know Philosis is gonna be one of the first. Well, all my dogs will be, but you know how that goes.
oh yeah, 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 no, definitely, like I said, they have that on and off switch. um when you ask it, they're on it. And but when you want them to be submissive and be chilling with the family, they have it. I trust all my dogs, when I go to work, to take care of the house, because my wife is here, and I've seen it. Those dogs would literally kill for her, you know. Yeah,
It reminds me of like one day we were on the phone, and I remember you were going in the backyard. It was completely just pitch black,
yeah,
and your dogs couldn't see you,
that's
and
true.
Diesel's just running up on you. You're like, "Hey, this mother is
Oh,
coming at me,"
oh
and you had
yeah,
to turn.
yeah. I
Yeah,
literally had to
he had to
scream,
turn
yeah,
the
and
light.
let them know
You
it
had to
was
turn the
me.
lights on. So he's like,
Yeah,
"Hey, yo, all right." He's like, "Yo, you almost died. You know that, right?"
yeah. No, no, no. I remember. I'm
So,
trying to pull that Venom picture, the one you just sent right now. Give me a second.
when we're talking about locking in traits, man, you gotta make sure the pairing is solid. You want to see what you're gonna do with how to put it when you're pairing two dogs.
Yeah,
What's the scenario? What's the theory that we use? Dog to dog,
dog to dog. Yeah,
frame to frame, pedigree to pedigree,
yeah,
and that's the number one method I truly believe in. You got to make sure the dog matches the dog, the frame matches the frame, and both pedigrees match up and line up. Still with some openness, but still keeping it tight.
yeah, yeah. Definitely.
That's
Here,
why I'm
here.
proud of this next breeding that we got coming up. That one. And you see that consistency trait in the mustache on both dogs.
Yeah,
Both frames are the same. Both pedigrees, because both of these dogs, their moms are belly sisters,
that's true. Yeah,
and their moms are belly sisters. And then also on top of that, Venom's grandfather is Philoti's great great grandfather.
yeah.
And if you're looking for consistency, that's the breeding to do it.
True that.
But
Yeah, definitely. And see that mug that they have, they is known to to produce out there.
I like it. I'm excited to do this breeding. I mean, it's going to be on the next one because we couldn't do it this time go around.
So
But
let me ask you something.
what's up?
Would you consider this breeding a line breeding, inbreeding?
Man, this breeding's so close of a inbreed. I guess a super, super tight line breed. It's
Okay.
super tight that is damn near inbreed. Because what, it's one gen array from being an inbreeding?
Yeah, because
And
both of 'em are on the mom side. They're belly
mm-hmm.
sisters.
So with it that, yeah, I would definitely consider it being an inbreed.
Okay.
Because half of it, that like you're going half brother, half sister. So
Yeah.
that's definitely an inbreed.
And then here, let me bring this up.
Hey, there's that boy right there.
See, yeah.
So look at that. That's constant consistency of type. You're running the type out of it, man.
No, I agreed. Yeah, definitely. That blood really comes out. Um, but at the same time, put it like this: I know this blood sometimes develops a little bit slower when they're pups. You know, man, they're beautiful. They look beautiful. Then they hit a stage where they got a little ugly stage, and you're like, man, what is this? But I always say, just be patient, man. Dogs always turn out, and I don't want to say it's the most part for the AB blood, because there's some lines that, man, the dogs, the way they look as pups, they turn out to be as adults. But on some of these lines, it's a little bit slower to for them to develop the way it really has to be.
Well, that's a lot of things with most people in this breed or any breed. They get their puppies or produce a puppy that they're so quick, they like, oh, it doesn't look like that right now.
Yeah,
That they throw away the dog and then they're like, oh my God, 2 years later, you're gonna see like, yo, it's a blooming, blossoming dog. Like that's one thing in the breeding is like you definitely have to have patience. You gotta be patient with this all the way through. Like
definitely, yeah. You know,
like what you
go
about
ahead.
to say?
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Like, if you're not going to be patient with the breed and you want to rush it, there's no point in being in this. Like, you can't rush perfection at all. Like, so if
True.
you're going to be developing a dog, developing a line, and looking for it to be something in the end, the rule of thumb is what you get at 6 to 8 weeks, it's what you're going to get at 2 years.
Yeah,
So if you can see a dog and imagine what it is now, what am I going to get in 2 years? You got to
that's
be
true.
able to. Most people don't see the pop and everything in a puppy, like because that was the hardest thing with my litter. There were two puppies that I just could not differentiate, like which one I really wanted to keep. But I did the wise thing. I kept one close and I kept one at home. And because once you can see it, once you know, especially if you know your lines. And that's a lot of things in the breeds that like I don't I don't understand why I get in the breed if you don't know lines.
Yeah,
If,
yeah, yeah.
if you don't if you don't know what to expect and what to come from the breeding or the breed of the dog you have in front of me, like in front of you, why even do it?
That's
Just to
true.
produce why just to produce beautiful colors is mostly what I really see. Is everyone's like, oh, I want a colorful dog and this and the third. But you don't really know like, oh, this dog's not turning out. Well, know your lines first.
So you feel that a lot of people will go, like, they'll pick their dog the the coat color.
Yes.
That's how they'll pick their dog first. Like, oh, I love this color. This is my keeper. But it might be the wreck from the litter, but
Yeah.
you love the color, right?
You love that color. Like, okay, it's whatever you want to call it. It's purple. Who
Yeah,
cares? That's not gonna make the dog. It's not gonna make your program. Because yeah, just because it has a pretty coat color, what else does it offer?
true.
Because yeah, we can produce color all day. Because all you need is blue to blue. You need black to black. Like, that's all you need. You can do that all day. But can I genetically make what the pedigree is reproduced? Like from the pedigree, can I reproduce that?
Yeah,
Because I think a lot of people go get it on the hype of this dog, that dog. All it's a grand champion. It's a try. It's a merle. It's red. It doesn't matter the color. They're just stuck on the color or even the name behind the dog. But does that dog really do what you want it to do? Because and then on top of that, what does your female bring to the table?
that is true. I know on the last episode we talked about that. Um, you know, you you pick a male thinking that male's gonna make miracles.
That part.
Yeah, and but you have a mediocre female that you really, she's not bringing much to the table, and then you decide to breed to this, known stud or whatever, and the litter doesn't turn out the what you expect it to be. and then you kind of trash talk on the dog.
Right.
Say, man, that dog can't produce for shit.
Mhm.
But no, you don't realize that what you have in front of you is, the male's just gonna help you so much, but your female's the one
Yeah,
that
but your female's
really is
got to
gonna
give
bring
you
that out.
everything.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like, and that's the thing. Like when most people don't realize, like, yo, everything really, and that's what I love about Jamie Sweet. Jamie Sweet is, she's given me a lot of information that I've sat down and really, really, really had to see it. And that female plays the biggest key to everything you're doing.
yeah,
And is your female, is there line breedings in the female? Are there um proven does her litter mates look like that? Do her mom, her aunt, and all that stuff, do they look like the female that's in front of you? And that's the thing, like with Philotes, what's his name? Capo's brother looks just like Bill. She's a female version of Bill. And
yeah,
like you can see those genetic traits. Like so that's like go look at more than just the puppy you have. Go look at the pedigree of the breeding of the dog and the dog, what the dog has produced. See if those traits are in your and that's going to be trickled down and has been done for years and years and years and years and years. That way, you don't have to literally spend thousands of dollars over spoof breedings that don't even work out.
yeah. That's true. Same thing. Pedigree database. It's a great tool to use because you could see.
Yeah, if it was up and running.
No, but even let's say if whatever dog, let's say your dog's already registered with pedigree database,
Yeah.
you could look at certain studs and see, their offsprings in there, and you could see their
Yes.
brothers, sisters,
True
and you
that.
could,
I see where you're going.
that's
Yeah,
you
because
could use that tool to kind
yes,
of
I
guide
see what
you
you're
and be
saying.
like, man, you know what, this stud and his family tree is consistency like this, and it will help you.
And yeah,
That's
and then
why.
also you can still see that stud been bred to other dogs, like we were talking
Yeah,
about earlier. Has that dog been thrown to other females and need known to even add himself? And seeing what those other females actually bring to the table, so that way you can start gauging your own dog and seeing if I use that male, if it's really going to work out for me in my favor.
true. Yep.
Like it's a lot that goes into this breeding, man, that most people don't take into consideration what it really takes to be a breeder. It's a lot. You're gonna get so much, but at the same time, know your lines, know your pedigrees. How tight is it? That scatterbred, I'm gonna tell you off top, man. I'm keeping a bean with you. If you give me something scattered, I'm running. I'm running. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, and that's the thing with when I look at these lines that where I did my F1, the male I used was line bred galore. And I'm like, dang, it's a lot in there. And then when I look at Pelosi's, she got her line breedings.
Yeah.
But then when I look at the litter, what won? The AB side won,
Yeah.
which is cool because that's my foundation. And that's what I truly wanted. But I wanted that male to throw me some little bit of sizeness in it. But I'm still
But I
realizing.
think you got it. I know that when you were trying to pick your pup, you were pretty close of letting that dog go, and I kind of had to smack you in your head, like, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
Yeah, Jamie Sweet even said the same thing. She said, "You do that." She goes like the words she said. I ain't gonna put it on the air, but she was like, "You can't do that to us, bro." She's like, "You can't do it." She's like, "I hope something happens to that dog."
Yeah. No,
And
and
like, yeah, that
there he
guy.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Man, there's so much resemblance in type. Like overall, like complete look. No, they don't look exactly alike. But then you look at that neck, you look at that shoulder, you look at the way their forearms are placed, that depth of chest coming through, the thickness in the rear. Those dogs, like you see that because this is 4th-generation grandfather to a 4th-generation grandson,
Yeah.
and that's just it's popping out. Like that's proof is in the pudding right there. And then we just showed the 2 litter mates from that. Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Wait till I take that to an English. Hey, and another thing we're talking about breeding, we're talking about dog to dog, frame to frame, pedigree to pedigree.
Yeah.
And for all those that are watching, there's something that I've been hip to for a little bit about 2 years now. Guys, if you're watching, I'm gonna put this out there. Go research what's called the black hole theory. Go research that. If you got Google, whatever, research your black hole theory. What that is what dogs play a part in your breeding uh, reproduction, and what dogs play a part in the black hole that have nothing to do with your genetic reproduction. Go look those up. If you can type that up, put it on the board or whatever. The black hole theory. I don't put a lot out there
Yeah.
because I'm kind of building my own thing and creating my own breed. But some information is needed, and that black hole theory, along with the heavy line breeding, that black hole theory, everybody needs to research and get into.
No, definitely. Yeah. Any tools that could help you, um, create a better strain, better line, and go for it. There's a lot of people out there that are very knowledgeable of certain breeds. Feel free, feel free to reach out and
A
ask questions
borable,
to them.
a
You know.
borable breeder taught me that, and that's one thing that I love about my background. I have multiple breeds,
Yeah.
and I got multiple people that we can piggyback on, and I throw it back to you to help us in what we're doing for our basic line. I'm going to say basic with our what do you call it? I want purebred line.
Yeah.
Like, so it helps you, it helps me, and I just want to help the community. Like, go look up that black hole theory.
No, no, definitely. Yeah. Um, you know, man, I've done a little bit of kind of research for the past maybe year now. I got into this breeders academy,
Yeah,
and it's when it comes to breeding, breeding is breeding, no matter whether you're breeding chickens, ducks, fucking rabbits, goats,
goats.
fish, bees, dogs, whatever.
And
Breeding
they
is
can
breeding.
reproduce. Breeding is breeding.
Yeah. And there's methods, that help you kind of establish, your lines and clean up lines as well. If you have certain, you know, defects or things that you're missing, it's a great way to clean your lines and improve them. You know,
I'm reading these comments.
where are
What
you
is it?
reading them at?
I can see it. My phone's over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sykes is asking, is it live or recorded? Man, we're live on this one.
Yeah.
I can, my phone's up there.
Oh,
Um, one thing is, breeding is breeding. Yes. Just looking over that kind of made me lose my train of thought on the whole thing. But when it comes to overall breeding, yes, breeding is breeding. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. But the thing is, you still have to know what you're doing when breeding. It doesn't
mm,
matter. Like,
true.
you
Yeah,
can't
that
just,
is true.
yeah, you could take two dogs and put them together, but really, what are you gonna overall reproduce? What are you gonna
Yeah.
breed? Like, if you're coming into this just to breed, I can only say this, and I'm not taking no shots at no one. It's just the only easiest thing I can say. If you're coming in this and you're just like, oh, I want to create blue dogs, or I want to create blue tries or ticking or whatever. If you're just coming in it for the color, man, you're just gonna lose a whole lot.
Yeah.
And without knowing and like not having any tightness in a pedigree, you're still gonna lose a lot.
No, that is true. Yeah, if you're just trying to get a rich fast, this ain't gonna happen, man.
Oh
This
no.
is not, bro. If taking years to kind of establish, you know, a line and stuff, and I always say, you know what, when you starting off, ask questions, and I'm a person that I really don't care what people say or think. I still
Who
do it.
you telling? Who you
I don't give a
telling?
shit. And I feel that some people that when they're starting off, they're kind of hold back because they're afraid of what other people are gonna say. But man, I always say, man, go for it. You know what? Just do it.
Like,
And
you do, but you got to know who to really ask these questions.
true, yeah,
Like, some people just like they started yesterday, And you can read a pamphlet all day, but it really doesn't really work. Like that's the thing. Like, show me your proof that what you're telling me really works.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, and you already know me. I don't give a shit.
yeah.
Like, I really don't, because what I came into this hoping and wanting to have, it all went down the drain. It all went completely down the drain, which got me to where I'm at now.
Yeah,
What am I
yeah.
doing? I'm creating my own thing. Do people like it? Yeah. Do people not like it? So, like, I don't care.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you
definitely.
don't, what up, train yard? Like, you don't feed my dogs. You don't feed me. You don't create.
Exactly.
You don't touch anything here. Now, once, and now, if you're giving me a check, then let's talk.
Yeah, yeah,
But if
you
you ain't giving
paying
me
my
no
bills or
money,
some shit.
bro, slide
Yeah,
out. Let's slide out.
exactly. Yeah.
Like we all have our opinions. We all have what we value, and that's you. You value you. Like, here's the thing. Like, so many people, like, I don't know if this grind is really gonna work for me. Well, you know what? If you don't keep grinding, then you ain't gonna never know if it's gonna work.
That is
Because
true.
you've been my boy for what? Over 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And where I started to where I am now. And even where I'm at now, you've seen the things that I've gone through. You've even heard my tears. You've heard my failures. But what have I not done?
Quit.
Never, boy.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Because you gotta, it like Dion said, I don't dream when I'm asleep. I dream when I'm awake because I can see it, I can touch it, I can feel it. I know I'm gonna have that because they coming, boy. Them African bulldogs is coming.
No, no, you're right. You know what? It's just there's there's so much evil out there too that people want to take your shine away,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's why some people get discouraged for it. And I just say, man, screw it, do it. Who cares?
yeah,
Because you know what, this dog game is it's pretty crazy, man.
it
It's
is.
you'll find all kind of people in here that you will be surprised that you're like, man, I never thought that guy was like that. You
Yeah,
know, so
man.
that's why a lot of things, you could network and everything. That's awesome, and I suggest that, yeah, network with as much people you can, but always, keep your guard up.
Who he said African bulldog? Show me some. Man, I only got one right now, so just and she a banger. If you ever meet me on the transport, oh trust me, you'll meet her.
Oh, I met her. Yeah, I met her in New Mexico, and I was this close to jumping back in my van. Like, man, put that dog away. I was like, oh, I'm
she's
good.
she's a no game dog, man. She's so who is this? Michael, I can't read his name from this far. Montoya.
Where are you
I'm
reading? Facebook? What is it?
I'm reading off of my phone that's over here that's about to die.
Okay.
Yeah, Montoya. I don't know if I can grab a picture of a dresser and send it real quick. I mean, can we post a video up?
If you got a picture, yeah, send it over.
Yeah, I got it's a dresser. So
No.
Montoya, Adressia is she's my foundation. She's my foundation, my F1.
Yeah.
She is 50-50. She's American Bulldog and South African Boer. She's the start of everything that I'm going after. Solid dog, great breathing, great structure, great temperament. And in this whole learning curve of everything, what I learned is I did the breeding backwards. I
Mm.
Yeah, like most people don't realize, like, what are you learning from what you're breeding? And I learned I did it backwards. I should have took an AB
To a
male
Borble.
to a Boer Bull female
Hmm.
when I should have took a Boer Bull male to my AB female, and
So
that
let me
would have
ask you
given
this:
me.
are you okay right now talking about your build? I
Oh,
know that.
absolutely,
Okay, cool. So I don't know if
absolutely.
you want to kind of elaborate to our viewers what is a African bulldog, or what's gonna be a African bulldog. Um, I know that it takes 3 breeds to create.
Four,
Well, 4. There you go.
four.
Sorry.
That's four.
So the mic is open. Explain.
Overall ingredients, I'm not gonna put it all out there.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
no,
not
no.
gonna give you every ingredient. But heavy base is bulldog. Touch
Okay.
of the board. My goal, like when I first got into this, I saw American bulldogs that were mastiff size,
Yeah.
and that was what I was after. But even on those bulldogs that were mastiff size, I didn't get the temperament. There was no temperament in there. But you don't see those dogs anymore. You don't see any. The closest ones, and I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not saying this because you my boy, but I've been around the world, and I ain't seen none yet,
Yeah.
and I only seen two, and they in Cali. And that's Paso and Diesel.
Yeah.
By far, I put my hands on a lot of dogs. A
Yeah.
lot of dogs, been a lot of yards, but Paso and Diesel are the biggest of the biggest. Like, well, they're not bigger than what I'm used to seeing and what I was used to when I first got into this. But meeting you then, and that's what connected our friendship. Like, hey, I'm after this.
Well, you were my
So
transport guy.
yeah, for real. And that's why I got to meet all these dogs. And that's why I saw consistency too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw consistency. Well, Vito is his name. Yeah.
Mm.
And then I take another one right after that. Like, yo. No,
Yeah, that's true.
I took one before Vito. Then I got
Before
to see
Beetle.
Vito.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you came back for Beetle. Yeah.
Yeah, then I got to meet Diesel, and that's where I saw the consistency, and I'm like, hey, that's what I'm looking for in producing and trying to get to where I'm at. But my
And then
overall
put it like
goal,
this. Pelosi was supposed to come to me.
yeah, no, Pelosi's was supposed to go to my buddy for a wedding gift. Remember, we were
No,
keeping him
that is
close.
true. No, but first the dog was owed to me, and I was supposed to
Yeah,
get it. And I talked to you, and then you're right. We were supposed to for as
give
a
it to a
wedding
buddy
gift.
for a wedding gift. And
Yeah,
then what happened? I was like, hey, bro, she ain't the biggest, but that's something special in this dog.
yeah.
Like, and she's proven to be that. But back to my African bulldog. My goal is to temperament wise in the boar bull. I didn't see what I knew of growing up with a boar. They were more protective. They were more courageous. They had more confidence to them. And in the same instance of the American Bulldog, I feel both of these breeds lack something, and I felt bringing them together would give me overall what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Was I completely wrong? In my opinion, in my analysis synopsis, no. Because when I did the cross and what I got in my first foundational African Bulldog, hands down, she's probably the best dog I've ever had, ever seen, ever been around. When the compliment of what we got when I went to the John D. Johnson dog show in 2023, even though everybody knew she was an African bulldog, a hybrid cross, whatever you want to call it, they literally said, "Bro, you have the realest boar bull I've ever seen." And that right there was that was a great compliment that kept me striving to keep going. I don't ever get any pushback from this dog. People are always like, "Yo, what kind of training you done with her?" Da da da, this, that, and the third. Dude, I just live with the dog.
Yeah.
I live with her. I go on the road with her. Like she's hands down like my homie. But she gives me a lot to conspire where I'm going to create pretty much my XL American Bulldog.
Mm.
That's what we're calling the African Bulldog.
I just got the pictures. I'll pull them up of her. So I guess what's his name? Montoya.
Montoya, yeah.
Yeah, he has. And he's gonna see right now.
Dun, 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 dun. Throw you a video and you can really see what she about. I should see if I can do that. Hey,
Maybe that's. I got another one here that you could see her better.
you got that flex on her.
No.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. Like in that picture right there,
Yeah.
she's only like 10, 11 months old.
Really.
Yeah.
So she's changed. She's popped in.
Yeah. I haven't done any any photo shoots, and I got one coming up in October with her and Monroe Filotes, no, Monroe Tookie and Wolfina.
Mm.
I haven't done any. I haven't done any upgraded photos of her at all because she's my dog. A lot of people was like, man, poster, 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 and I'm like, nah, this is my dog, my boy.
Yeah,
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 and that's the Boerboel that's Gia in the background. That's my Boerboel.
yeah. I see her.
Yeah, but like she's bro.
So
I
let me
need.
let me ask you this: have you uh done another step to create that African bulldog? I don't know if you have news going on right now with that or
Well, I took her to Tookie,
okay.
which is the couple great great grandson, my foundational oldie. Um, um, let's see. Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, things didn't work out like because where I did my projection was done. The machine had some malfunction issues, and so I just had to wing it and go with what we knew. Day 7 to 11, and
Yeah,
throw
old
an
school.
AI on her. But in that breeding, I'm excited for it because even doing it backwards, I get to do my variables, my pros, my cons, and see what's happening because it's going to be 2 part AB, 1 part oldie, and 1 part board.
Mm.
So, and I got another dog that I'm bringing into the mix, but I'm just keeping that
Just
quiet
waiting.
as a
Yeah, yeah.
cat.
No, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yep,
You know me, I don't really put everything out there, but we can't do that.
definitely. Yep.
So that's where we are. That's what we're doing. What
Oh,
you
that's
got
good.
coming up? What you got coming up?
Um, I got a couple of back breedings that I gotta do. Um,
You
just
like me, you just don't like putting everything out
no,
there.
no, no. Yeah, exactly. Just some back breedings I gotta do. Like I said, I'm trying 3 lines, so it's gonna take time. But I started on that Peso line. I worked on the diesel line, but I'm trying to fix some flaws that I have there and make it a more solid line. I think in the next year or so,
You're gonna
I
let me
might
get
do that
peso?
COH. Yeah.
Did you hear me?
No, what will happen?
I said you're gonna let me get peso.
Oh no, 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 no. Definitely not. That's my wife's dog, and she ain't letting him go.
I mean, she
You,
should.
you know what? He came a long way, man. When I got
He
him,
really did.
and you seen him.
Yeah.
Pictures don't do justice. You see how big he is. Like that dog has improved so much here, man. His
He's
confidence,
done a
just
lot.
overall. One thing though, he loves fetch. He loves that. And
You know,
no,
one thing
but
I
put like
wanna
this. I took him to a dog show, right? And I showed him and he was doing great. And then on the sideline, there's 2 little kids throwing the ball. Oh man, he didn't care about the show. He wanted that ball and stuff. And oh man, he was embarrassing me out there. But you know what? The judge caught on to it. So she did ask, the kids to stop playing and stuff. And she's like, "No, I know, Dennis." I was like, "No, it's all right. You know what? If he doesn't take it, I understand. It's just when it comes to fetch and balls, that boy is something else.
before we go carry on. Um, I gotta give hats off to Martine. I gotta give
Okay.
hats off to Martine for
Yeah, yeah,
producing
yeah.
that.
He produced the dog, and
It was a
he that was a great breeding he did there. It sucks, because he had I think it was I don't know if it was 3 pups in the litter or two.
yeah.
Um, no, it was three, and he lost two of them, and Vessel was the only surviving pup,
Really,
and
I was gonna ask
yeah.
um what was going on if those puppies or any of that. Yo, I don't know why everything's starting to slow down and glitch.
Yeah, it's starting to lag. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Measure. I got about
No, I'm losing you. I'm losing you there. Well, gentlemen, ladies, whoever's watching, thank you for watching. I just lost Ernest
Sergeant, my
here.
boy.
Um, he's somewhere. Oh, there he is. But you know what? Catch us again next Wednesday. Today we ran a little bit late, but hopefully next week we'll be in at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So catch us for the next Let Loose Dog Talk podcast.